Alright, when we're ready, which I think we're in the level 5, so we should be okay to... What's Zidane's HP? Yeah, we should be good to go. Go and enter the ice cavern. The music is so catchy. Once we actually start, you know, listening to it. Excuse me. Love this music. Okay, you might be able to see these jets of mist. If we run into them, we will trigger a random battle. So as we're running around through here, we want to kind of be aware of where they're at. Nothing really in here is going to really hurt us too much, but it's a good idea to keep our eyes out so we don't, you know, accidentally run into them if we don't want to. And this is something that I really found interesting that you know, previous to, you know, playing this game, I had never seen a game do this. You know, here we are in a cavern full of ice, and we have Vivi, who's a black mage. Why can't we try to melt some stuff with our magic? I just thought that was so cool that this game did that. Now, granted, I don't think it ever does that anywhere from here on out in terms of, you know, dungeons and magic. But there are quite a few locations where we are required to do and interact with various settings and various things and items and stuff to get through places we normally couldn't reach in other dungeons. Of course, most enemies here, if not all of them, are weak to fire, obviously being in an ice cavern. So basically, Vivi is going to be extremely useful, especially against enemies that are multi-targets. So this is a good place to use his multi-targeting flame attacks. Okay, so we just learned a new skill on Steiner. Bronze armor, and we can't really change anything out, so okay. Moving on. Now what you want to do before you do anything is make sure you grab that treasure chest. I don't think you can knock it down beforehand. But just in case. It looks like we learned Thunder, probably. We already had a Mage Smasher from the first fight, so not that big of a deal. But it is good to have it because we are going to, I think, be needing 2 of them to synthesize another weapon for Zidane somewhere down the road. Okay, I think we've learned everything that Vivi can learn. We're making good progress on Zidane. Pretty much if you come across a single enemy, not a multiple enemy battle, it's always a good idea to save Vivi's magic. I'm pretty sure as long as there is nothing blowing across the screen, you'll be able to cross it. If there's even, I think, some pixels, I think it still might cause you to get into a battle. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, we want to go this way first. Yes. ATE event Teach Me Mockster Lesson 2. Okay, so this basically, okay, we can learn about the card game, which we already did. Elemental properties, status effects. No, you know, what's weak to what. Fire, ice, thunder, earth, wind, water, holy, and shadow. I know I switched those two around. Basically, you can, you know, go from there to there. Okay, so it's not so much that certain enemies have certain types, in terms of like fire is weak or blah blah blah. But generally speaking, fire is good against ice and undead monsters. Ice is effective against insects, large enemies, fire and dragon types. Thunder, good against water or enemies near water. Earth is ineffective against flying monsters. I guess not effective against anything else. Water is good against fire, wind is good against flying. Strange. Holy is good against shadow, and shadow is good against holy. And of course, the non-elemental property, which typically goes reserved for like the Bahamut summon spells. Bahamut, his Mega Flare attack is typically non-elemental. And I guess status effects is a good thing that we want to kind of talk about. Okay, so we have status effects that go away when the battle is over, such as Confuse, Berserk, Stop, Poison, Sleep, and Slow. When you're confused, so you can't control the character. Berserk, they can only attack. I want to say that Berserk also causes confusion, but I may be mistaken. That might be more specific to something else. Stop, the character cannot move. Poison, HP decreases. Character asleep is asleep. And when you're slowed, the ATB bar gauge fills quite slowly, even more so than it already does on high settings. Now this is something which I just learned, and I don't know if this has always been known or is this something nobody ever thought to mention. Under heat, terrible burns causing KO if they take an action. Freeze, they become frozen. KO'd if they're attacked physically, they shatter. And many characters, you know, striking become weaker. If your character is suffering from heat or freeze, using the opposite elemental nature magic will cure it. So if you're under heat, the effects of heat, supposedly casting like Blizzard on a character will cure it. And freeze is exactly the opposite. If you're frozen, casting a fire spell should heal it. That's I haven't tested it myself since learning it, but if that's true, it makes sense, but it's just strange that we never knew about it. Okay, so this is stuff that will be carried over after battle. So petrification, characters can't. I think if you're petrified, you also don't get experience. Venom. Ooh. So that's what Venom does. I thought Venom was just a stronger poison, and I guess it's actually HP and MP decrease. And the character can't move. Virus. Virus is the one that will manipulate and use if you want to get your characters to level 99. You know, leveling at, you know, in-game party. You don't gain experience or AP. And silence, characters can't use magic. Darkness, obviously, is impaired. Their accuracy decreases. Trouble. Damage one character receives transfers to other characters. See, I never knew that. Strange that I've played this game so many times and I never knew what trouble does. And zombie healing items and magic cause damage to the character. Oh, good status effects. Oh, crap. Crap. Nope, dang it. Let's jump back there. I thought that if I pressed X, it would just, skip it, but I guess that wasn't the case. So some good status effects that we can get: auto life, character will revive once during battle, regen, HP is gradually restored over time, haste fills the ATB bars, a bit faster, and float. Your characters will be unable to be targeted by earth damage. Shell protects, magic defense up, protect its physical defense up. Vanish, they can't be hit by physical attacks, but they will reappear if hit by magic. Now Reflect is a very useful tool. It will reflect magic back at the caster. Now, if you have your entire party under the Reflect spell, your own characters, or the enemy, doesn't matter which, if they target multi-target, so if you take an enemy that, say, uses Thunder All on the whole party, if the whole party has Reflect, that magic will be reflected 4 times back to the enemy. You can also manipulate this by having Reflect on all of your characters, and then having one of your characters cast an all-targeting attack on yourself to reflect it 4 times over on the enemy. If you do happen to have auto-reflect on your whole party, and you're like, well, how am I going to heal my party with magic? You can do the same trick with casting Reflect on your enemy. Then you can cast curing spells on them and have it reflect to your party. So magic is only reflected 1 time, 1 direction. Doom and Gradual Petrify are things that effectively will end up killing your party. And I think that's all we need to kind of cover on that little lesson. Okay, so Mois, or Moi, might be Moi, might be French. We gotta deliver a letter to Gumo for him, or her. Can't tell which one's which. Now let's see, what are we sitting at? HP, MP, we're only about 4 short. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to bother using a tent. We don't need to right now. Okay, time to head out and see if we can't get out of the ice cavern. Okay, so now's the time to determine if you got everything set up the way you want on Zidane, because we're going to be coming up to the next boss fight. And sorry to say, we're by ourselves. Now, it would be nice to increase our evasion and magic evasion right now, but I think we can do without it. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. And I think if we go to our status, we can see that we're pretty close to hitting trance. We're a little bit more full of the gauge than I would have liked, because I kind of don't want to waste our trance if we go into it, because we do want to steal some items off of the next boss. We'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens. Okay, so we are now fighting off against Black Waltz number 1, who has a remedy and a silk shirt. If we want, we can aim for the silk shirt. Remedy, doesn't really matter. It'd be nice to have, but if we're hurting, we might want to skip it. He will also summon his little friend, the sea lion, who has an ether and a mithril dagger. We want that mithril dagger, and as long as the sea lion has a blue orb there for health, we'll be okay in terms of how much damage we're going to take. So we're definitely going to try to steal the mithril dagger first. If we fall below about half health, we're going to want to definitely use a potion. Crap. And then what we definitely want to do is we definitely want to eliminate Black Waltz. Okay, so we got the mithril dagger. Yes, it's going to take up some of our trance, but I think we'll be able to survive. Remedy, okay. At the very least, let's use free energy to get rid of Black Waltz. And then we should have some time to use potion on ourselves, because right now his attacks aren't really going to hurt us too much. It's going to take quite a bit of time to get us to our trance again. But in the meantime, we'll just attack. And the orb on his chest will change as time goes on. I mean, ideally, we would want to get to our trance again, because as his orb changes, he gets stronger, like Blizzara, for instance. Does about 60 points of damage. And he starts casting more spells more frequently. Question is, how long is it going to take to fill up our gauge? I mean, we could just sit here and let him hit us. That might actually be the more preferred option, so that we can definitely hit into our trance. But man, Because as he gets weaker, he's going to get stronger, and it's usually a good idea to finish him off as quickly as we can. Though getting us to a trance is going to take some time. I mean, we're only about almost a quarter of the way there. I hate to do this, but I'll give it a shot. Okay. This is gonna hurt. But I think if I attack him, I might win. If he doesn't kill me first. Okay, we pulled that one off. Okay, 5 AP. Still not enough to learn all of our abilities, but we're getting pretty close. Okay, now that we got the party back, one of the things we can do... we learned? Nope, we got 5 more things to learn, and then we can bump on the Mithril Dagger. And the Bandit ability is very helpful in that it will allow us to successfully steal with Zidane. I don't know to what I don't know if it works every time, or if it doesn't work on some rarer items. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, that would be good, some good AP here. Okay, if you hear that in the background, that would be the sound of thunder. Seems like a storm is brewing outside. So she's decided to change her name to Dagger as sort of like a code name so that, you know, we don't have to call her Garnet or Princess. Or it takes Steiner a little bit of time to get out of that habit. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and save. I don't like that a storm is currently brewing outside. I don't want us to lose power, so I think this is a good place to call it quits for now. And when we come back, we got a few things we can do, as well as getting to the next village. That's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm GreKaosAngel. If you like the content and want to see more, click the video on the right to see the next episode, or click the video on the left to see the ones you've missed.